I'm so excited that you guys are all here. We are jazzed to get into all of this. It's going to be amazing. So pop in the chat if there's anything in particular you are looking for, if there's something that brought you here, so that we can make sure that we are hitting all of the points and make this a valuable use of your time. I'm Megan Marr, and this is Lisa, and we are so excited to share. So Lisa, do you want to kick us off and share a little bit about your story of how Young Living came into your life and what you've noticed?
Yes, I am Lisa, and I started with Young Living 7 years ago. It feels like forever, but it also feels really fast. So, but yes, I got my starter kit in January of 2014, and I literally had no idea what I was getting them for. I was basically just getting them to support my sister, who was really, really excited. And so I noticed that I was using them for like seasonal allergies at first. And then I started to use them on my children who were constantly sick and not feeling well, and my husband who had back pain and wasn't sleeping very well. So we noticed a lot of immediate differences. But one thing that really stood out to me was how, like, when I had kids, you start reading labels and you start turning things over and doing a little bit of research. So when I was using like these baby lotions and baby shampoos and stuff, and then realizing the ingredients in them were super toxic, I was getting really, really frustrated. And so that's when I started to switch out more of the everyday toxins we were using in our home. And that's when I noticed like major health shifts. Like, it wasn't just like headaches and stuff going away. It was like my hormones were getting better. My anxiety was going away. Like major life shifts. And so over that period of 6 months where I started to switch out chemicals, that's where I saw like, whoa, okay, this is a company that I can stand behind, because my life has never been better. We have never been happier or healthier. And so that is just like, it was everything for us. And over the course of 7 years, like, the testimonies just never stop flowing in, and it just keeps getting better. So I wholeheartedly stand behind all of the lifestyle products, not just the oils. And I think that's one of the most important messages we want to get across today, that Young Living is so well known for essential oils, which is awesome, but there is so much more. And it's really, really important that we start ditching the toxins that we are purchasing from all the regular stores, because your body is going to be in a constant detox. If you bring in essential oils and then you keep bringing in all the nasty stuff, this just doesn't, they don't work well together. So we have like a whole new outlook of how we're doing these classes, because we used to just talk a lot about essential oils, but now we're like looking at the whole big picture. And so that's why we want to talk today about our like 10 favorite products, because it's a lifestyle, and it's, when you get that starter bundle, that's just the beginning, and the longevity of the journey is like the best. So it's called the 3 levels of wellness, because at the top, like, you will see the oils there, and that's basically your go-to. So we're used to running for the over-the-counters if we have a headache or we're achy or whatever it is. Your oils are awesome for that, to replace those. And then when you're moving down into the second level there, we're looking at ditching and switching like your cleaners and your shampoo and your lotions and your facial stuff, and then moving into the nutrition with supplements and like your base of wellness, right? So that's what my orders look like now, more than they did in the beginning, is like nutrition, my everyday products, and then I sprinkle in oil. So that's what we're going to talk about today in that order. And I hope you take a lot out of this class, because we're excited to share with you.
Yeah, we are. I love this new idea of this triangle, and I totally agree. I think that it's just going to be, as we move through the class, you're going to see like, oh, this makes so much sense. Because if we, target that nutrition, that foundation, and then we target that ditch and switch, the need for oils goes down and down, because those symptoms just aren't coming up as often as they once were. And so I'm Megan, and I have been using Young Living for about 6 years, and we've used oils kind of my whole life. My dad loved tea tree oil. He put it on everything. Like, when I smell tea tree, it just reminds me of my childhood. So I was always a little bit like granola, a little crunchy beforehand. But when I got pregnant with my first son, I became really aware of what I was putting in my body, what I was putting on my body. And I really started to focus on ingredients and started to read them. And I felt like I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just, buying the more expensive product because it looked healthier. And I was buying the product that had the green leaf on it because it looked like it would be better for me. And then when my mom got diagnosed with cancer later that year, that kind of exploded everything for us. All of a sudden, it felt like everything was causing cancer. Everything was not safe for us. I felt super disempowered when I was looking at the ingredients of the products that I thought were better. I was still seeing ingredients in there that weren't good for me, that were actually depleting my health. And so that was really scary. And I just didn't really know what to do. And so then I came to a class similar to this, and I learned a little bit more about essential oils and about the Thieves products and all of the nutritional supplements. And I was just blown away at what they could potentially do for me. And so I went home with a starter kit with the plan of just using it as my first line of defense. So when things came up in our home, I was going to go to them first. And what I noticed was that we didn't really need to use anything else. So it was like so powerful to be able to grab some lavender for my seasonal allergies or grab peppermint for my headaches. And then just like Lisa, when I started to switch out into like cleaners and laundry detergents and things, the products that we were using in our home, I was shocked. Like, so we're going to get into that and talk a little bit about it. But I couldn't imagine that the products that we were using in our home were causing the things that they were causing. It's insanity, you guys. Like once you open it up, you can't unknow. And so I figured that if I didn't know about it as somebody who was a bit granola, a bit crunchy, a bit natural before, then I knew that lots of other people probably had never heard about it. So I became super passionate about sharing it with others and letting others know and helping others open up their eyes to finding a healthier life. Because I think that in our day right now, so many people have so many symptoms and they just think that that's normal, that when they talk to their friends, everybody's struggling, everyone's struggling with sleep or with hormones or all sorts of things. And the truth that I have found is that you don't have to struggle. And so to be able to offer people that opportunity to not struggle, to move into wellness, it feels really amazing. And just like Lisa said, the testimonies that we get daily are just epic. Just so amazing. So I'm really, really, really excited to kind of share these pieces with you. So should we just hop right in? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start like at the top of that triangle. So we're going to start with some essential oils and then move down. So we're going to start with lavender because it's lavender and it's amazing. And you have all heard of lavender and all of the amazing things that it can do. But to start off with, I'm going to talk about what essential oils are. And so maybe you're like me, that I thought what essential, like you take a plant leaf and you squeeze it and this plant juice comes out and that's essential oils. But it's actually not. So what's in this little bottle is actually the lifeblood of a plant. It's actually the immune system of the plant. So what it's doing for the plant is it's protecting it from its environment, protecting it from disease, healing it when it is broken. And it can do all of those same things for us as humans because we have really similar molecules as plants do. That continues to blow my mind. Like after 6 years of sharing this information, I'm like, what in here is the immune system of a plant? Like that is crazy. So when you take a plant and you break the stem and you sew it back up, it's actually the essential oil running through the plant that's going to heal that cut. Like that blows me away. So that just speaks to the power of what is in these bottles. And so lavender oil in particular, I am dousing myself in it right now because something bloomed last night and all of a sudden my seasonal allergies are at an all-time high. And I have been using this for the last 4 years solely to manage them. And it's incredible. So like I wake up, I have a little bit of a stuffy nose. I'm putting lavender on. I can breathe. Like you guys, if you have seasonal allergies, you can't breathe during this season of life. I can breathe. It's amazing. Lavender is a natural antihistamine, so amazing for the seasonal allergies, but also for like bee stings. Last summer, I have 2 boys, they're 5 and 7. We were exploring in our back forest. One of them stepped on a wasp's nest. So the wasps come out, they're everywhere, they're in our clothes. I'm screaming like it's like Jurassic Park. I'm like, run, like run for your life. We're running out of the forest. We get home. The boys are like crying in tears. I probably traumatized them by hollering. And I just grab my lavender oil and I'm dousing it all over us, all over the stings. And immediately the stinging goes away. The swelling starts to go down. Like, I don't know what else I could have grabbed in that moment to have that sort of immediate relief. And not only that, but also just like the emotional calming that lavender brings that we all needed in that moment as well. So lavender's incredible. It can do so much, burns, so many things. Yes. So pop in the comments what you're using lavender for. It's also certified through Health Canada, which is amazing for sleep and relaxation. So it's one that I often diffuse at night as well. Let's move into peppermint oil. So peppermint oil is one of my faves. I use it for so many things. Digestion, I used it for that this morning. But peppermint oil is a really, really great example of how Young Living is a little bit different than other oils you may have tried. And the beautiful thing is that Young Living has what they call a seed to seal promise. But this seed to seal promise goes over not just the oils, but all of the products that they sell. So that is really cool. So I want you to keep that in mind as I'm kind of explaining through this story of why their standards are so much higher. And so if we imagine that there are two farms side by side, so Young Living owns their own farms, where the plant organically grows, which is super cool. So we have them all over the world. We've been to a few. It's amazing. Okay, so there are two farms side by side, both peppermint farms. One's a Young Living seed to seal farm, and one is an organic peppermint farm. So they do the same process. They cultivate the earth, they plant the organic heirloom seeds, they don't use herbicides, fungicides, or pesticides, they weed by hand. You know, like they talk lovingly to the plants, like they do all of the amazing things that the plants need. And then they harvest it and they cold steam distill it. And so once they get the oil out, they test it. And so when they test it, let's say they're testing peppermint oil, and there's going to be 43% methanol in it. Methanol is like the chemical constitution in it that creates that high standard. So they're going to have lots of different components within it, but they're testing for that one for peppermint. 43% methanol, that's great. They're going to bottle and sell it. The next year, they do the exact same process. And when they test it, it's only 13% methanol. So they didn't do anything different, but plants you can't really control, right? Because they're this organic substance. And so Young Living wouldn't bottle and sell that because it's not of therapeutic quality, but the organic peppermint farmer would, because they didn't use herbicides or fungicides. They didn't use pesticides. It's still organic. It's just not of that really high standard. And so that's what I really love about Young Living is that I know every single time I open up this bottle, I'm going to get the exact same results that I did before. And that's really powerful, especially when you're really starting to like shift over and utilize them to really support you and your family's health and using them more in that health, the health benefit. You want to make sure that they're going to be the same bottle to bottle. And so I love that so much. And it even like they're willing to take it even so far as to lose money by it by having products out of stock rather than compromise their integrity and sell lesser quality products. And so I've been on the receiving end of that of like, man, I need that product and it's out of stock. But it also really shows the value that they're willing to put into it and how that every time they're going to have that really high standard. And so I really, really appreciate that. So pop in the comments how you're using peppermint oil as well. I like to just put a drop around my belly button to help with digestion and put on the back of my neck to like cool down. It's been hot here lately. But there's tons and tons of ways to be using peppermint oil. And so I think I'm going to pass it over to Lisa to share about a couple other oils that are amazing as well.
Yes, yes, yes. I love all those oils, especially lavender, because I also am saved for seasonal allergies from lavender. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about Digest. Digest is a one that I had to use a lot in the beginning because my digestion was completely out of whack of years of using all the toxins, and I didn't know that was the reason, like antibiotics and all the things where your gut health is just shot. So I was using a lot of this in the beginning, and it's anything digestion, obviously like heartburn or just like not feeling well, you ate too much, if you're not going to the bathroom or you're going too much, all those reasons, just putting it on the area that is bothering you. And for me, I had a lot of like gallbladder flare-ups and stuff, and I really committed to not taking my gallbladder out, and just eating healthier and living healthier. So it's still here. So Digest I love. And so like my kids, like when they would get car sick, stuff like that, my kids always got so car sick. I don't know why. But also, this is known to actually wake up every region of your brain, which is really cool if you do want to diffuse this. I like didn't know that until a neurologist told us that. Like, what? That's so cool. Another thing is that Young Living actually puts this into their soil. They put Digest in their soil. So it's really, really great for plant health and soil health. So if you want to spray your plants or put a drop in a plant that needs more nutrients in the soil, that's a cool tip for you. But just overall digestion health. And that is where all of our happy hormones are made, is in our gut. So if your gut isn't happy, then neither are you. So your serotonin and all that stuff. Another awesome oil to get you back into balance is Progessence Phyto Plus. So this is a wild yam extract. Yes, ladies, we all need this. Even my 13-year-old daughter, who just got her monthly thing, she was not doing well. So I'm like, okay, it's time. Welcome to the party. So I use this every single day. It's got me back into like happy, healthy monthly cycles. I used to get headaches every single month and super crampy. Now everything's all good. As well, I struggled getting pregnant. It took 5 years with our fourth baby, and I started taking this every single day because I tend not to be super diligent about taking it every single day. But when I got committed to it, we got pregnant 2 months later. So if that helps anybody, hopefully you can steer them towards this. I love that oil.
Yes. And like, I don't have any symptoms at all anymore before my monthly cycle, like no irritability, no mood swings. Like, it's shocking. And the months that I forget to use it like every day, I notice it. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I have to use my PPP every day because it makes such a huge difference, just like in the harmony of our home. So yeah, it's an amazing one. Okay, so this is going to be our last oil that we're going to chat about today. This is Thieves Oil. So if you've heard about oils, you've probably heard about Thieves. It is amazing. It has saved us so many times from so many coughs and colds. And it's actually certified through Health Canada for coughs and colds, which is really cool that they're starting to recognize how essential oils can really support your body. And so the story behind Thieves is that in the 1500s, when the plague was rampant, the spice merchants would put this blend into their handkerchiefs and steal from the dead and dying, and they never caught the plague. And so when they were caught, the king offered them leniency if they would share their recipe. And it was this: cinnamon bark, clove, eucalyptus, rosemary, and lemon. And it is like anti all of the things, antibacterial. It is just, it has saved our family. I can't even count how many times. I love to put it with a scoop of honey and a drop of Thieves, a drop of lemon, maybe a drop of peppermint with some warm water, and it like soothes your throat like so quickly. My husband uses this regularly to just boost his immune system. We put on the kids' feet every night before they go to bed to boost their immune system. And I love to diffuse it because it smells like Christmas, so it's amazing. And then you can also like add in like some citruses, some orange or lemon to make it smell more springy. But I love to diffuse it. I'm staring at my diffuser, which you cannot see. But because not only does it make your room and your house smell amazing, but it's actually cleaning the air that you're breathing. So when you're diffusing it for up to 20 minutes, it will actually clean the air in that room for up to 2 hours after. And so that's powerful. It's like this passive way to just boost your immune system. So we often will diffuse it regularly. And when Lisa and I were chatting about this class, she shared the story about the Thieves Toothpaste that just like, I had never thought about it in this way before. So I'm going to let her share about the
You cut yourself off. Yes, the toothpaste is amazing. And Young Living made a whole bunch of Thieves products because Thieves is so, so powerful. But one big thing for me with the toothpaste, that when I switched over from the other one, I had really, really sensitive teeth for years and years. So I was kind of hell bent on sticking with what I was using because otherwise I was scared my sensitivity would come back. And it didn't. It got even better than it was before. So going from hot to cold, or sitting in a dentist chair where they're picking at your teeth, and I was braced, like scared out of my ever-loving mind. And my dentist and hygienist was so blown away with how clean my teeth were and how my gums weren't as receding as they were before. So it's like, what the heck? So, and not only did my sensitivity go away, but my teeth felt clean literally all day long. There was no fuzz halfway through the day. What is this magic? So Young Living has two of these on the Canadian side that I use, and one of them is Aroma Bright and the whitening toothpaste. The whitening toothpaste is amazing. So, but my kids also use Aroma Bright, and I use this as my deodorant. The main thing that you really want to be aware of if you aren't using the toothpaste yet, well, you should, because there is sodium lauryl sulfate in all of the regular toothpaste, which is a cancer-causing ingredient, and that's what the foaming agent is in your hand soap and your shampoo. It's so toxic. Another one is fluoride, also really not good for you. Do a little digging with fluoride. It's horrific what the history of fluoride, and it's so not good for your brain. And then triclosan. Triclosan is in many of the main toothpaste, but that's a low dose of antibiotic that you are putting in your mouth twice a day at least. And then when you actually need antibiotics, they may not work for you. So all of those toxic ingredients, never mind the dyes and all the extra flavoring and so this is a really, really easy switch out for you. If you don't already have this, you're going to be blown away and your teeth are going to be thanking you forever and ever.
Isn't it crazy that there's like endocrine disruptors in toothpaste? Like I knew about it in hand soap and lotions and that kind of stuff, but I didn't even think that it would be in toothpaste. And then like your mouth is so absorbent, it just absorbs everything right in. And so when Lisa told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, like I've been using and loving the Thieves toothpaste for years. So thankfully, but I was horrified. I'm like, oh my gosh, I rarely talk about the toothpaste, but I didn't even know that. So switch over ASAP. Okay, so yes, so like Lisa said, they have a whole Thieves line. So we're going to chat about the Thieves Cleaner, which is my absolute favorite. It comes as a concentrate. So you only use 1 capful of concentrate to 2 cups of water. So this lasts us like forever, so often. And we use this for everything. So countertops, floors, bathrooms, toilets, bathtubs, windows, like everything. It's the only cleaner that we have in our house. And it actually works. Like I know that when you talk about like this is natural and good for you, like you're probably gonna have to put more elbow grease in. No, it actually really, really works. And the first thing that I did when I started building my Young Living business and got a paycheck is I hired a cleaner because I needed that. And she uses this solely. So I'm pointing because she's here today and she uses this fully like in our whole house and in her whole cleaning company in her business. And so it actually really works. And I remember having this moment a couple of years ago when my son had spilled his Ninja Red on the floor and I handed him our spray bottle and a rag to clean it up. And he sprayed it and he cleaned it up and then he sprayed it again and kind of created a bit of a puddle and then started like stepping in it in his bare feet and splashing around. And I had this moment of like, oh my gosh, if that was any other cleaner, I would not be okay with my baby splashing around in his bare feet in a chemical cleaner, let alone I probably wouldn't even let him use it. And so it was that moment that made me realize like, man, if anything, it's just boosting his immune system. Like right on it, it says, if ingested, drink water. Like it is just, it's so comforting to know that it is totally safe for him. It's not depleting his body. If anything, it is just supporting and boosting his body, which is amazing. And so we use it, yeah, for everything, all of the things, the only cleaner that we have in our house. The laundry detergent. Okay, so when I first got this laundry detergent, I'm just going to show you. This is like a 5 ml oil bottle. It is a teeny tiny bottle. And so when I first got it, I was like, this is going to last me a hot minute. This is so small and I do so much laundry. But just like everything that Young Living carries, it's so super concentrated. It's like hair gel. It's so thick. And so you only need 1 teaspoon of laundry detergent per load, which is crazy because before I was using like a whole cap full, like, I don't know, half a cup, like crazy. So it took me a minute to adjust to using such a small amount, but it works so well and it's amazing. So this actually lasts us a good like 6 months in our family. And I have 3 boys, like I have my 2 boys and my husband, 3 boys in our house. And so a little bit about the laundry detergent. So if we often think about our skin as a barrier, like it protects us from things, but it actually just absorbs everything that we put on it. And so if we're wearing our clothes that have been washed and let's just say like a mainstream laundry detergent with fragrance in it, our bodies are just absorbing little bits of that toxicity every day, all day, in our clothes, in our sheets, when we use our towels, all of the time. It's just absorbing. And our bodies are brilliant and so smart that it naturally just detoxifies all of that toxicity every day, all day, little bits at a time. And so, what I've really noticed, and when I talk to families about the biggest thing that they've noticed when they've switched over to Young Living, it is these products, switching out these products, because all of a sudden now your body doesn't need to detoxify from that anymore because there's nothing to detoxify from. So, you're wearing your clothes with, that's been washed in Thieves detergent, so it doesn't have that toxicity in it. So now all of a sudden your body has this extra energy that doesn't need to going to detoxify. So it boosts your immune system, it goes to your nervous system. So all of these other systems in your bodies are stronger and you feel stronger. And when I talk to families, it's like they feel stronger, they feel clearer. They didn't notice that these symptoms that they had, that they thought would maybe be allergies or stuffy nose or headaches, all of these little things that, again, like we talked about at the beginning, we just felt like are normal, they all of a sudden disappeared. It was actually Selena, who's on the call right now, who shared with me how when I dropped off a sample of the Thieves laundry detergent, how she said she used the laundry detergent and it was the first morning that she woke up without a stuffy nose. And she had never even considered that it would be her laundry detergent. It was just something that happened. Every morning she woke up with a stuffy nose. And now all of a sudden she's not. Like, that is crazy powerful. And it's amazing to think about the things that we tolerate and that we suffer through when we really don't need to. So, boom, so good.
Yeah, I could literally talk about those products forever. I love how you explain that though, because that was a huge mindset shift for me, because I used to think of my skin as a protector, as a barrier, nothing's getting in. And then when you start to realize everything's absorbing, you're like, oh, shoot, what? Now I have to pay attention to that too. So yeah, that all those products are amazing. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Sulfurzyme. We're going to move into the supplements. Sulfurzyme was a huge one for me, for my husband and I, who dealt with back pain. I was dealing with a lot of hip pain. And so this just takes care of your whole body inflammation. If you have anything that chronically drives you crazy and you're waking up achy or whatever it is, maybe you worked out really hard. And so this helps with all of those things. And it's made up of Ningxia wolfberry and MSM, which is a natural protein that your body makes, but makes less of it as we get older. So this is a really important supplement. It's great for hair, skin, and nails, and your hair just grows and your nails grow so much faster and stronger. So if it's interesting, I think Carla Green is the one who said this, if there's anything lacking in your body that your hair, skin, and nails needs, it's your body's going to make it go to like your organs and like all those other systems that it needs. Your hair, skin, and nails are going to be the first ones to suffer. So if you have brittle nails or brittle hair, you're suffering, and you need supplements like this to help you. So, and I just love that our supplements have essential oils in them, so your body is able to absorb them and hang on to them and utilize them better. And so that's why you see such a massive difference in your overall health within weeks and maybe a couple months, instead of never feeling a difference with supplements. I think that's the one reason why I never used to take supplements, is because I never felt different, but not with these. So yes, love, love, love. And now we're going to talk about Ningxia, which is like, so a multi-billion-dollar company, and Ningxia Red makes up 40% of Young Living sales, which I think speaks volumes to like what. And as you're switching out all these toxins in your everyday life, you will notice that you will have less and less symptoms, less and less suffering, and you'll feel on top of the world. So then we just start to like bring in things like Ningxia Red to like keep us at our best and making us feel so energetic and full of just vigor for life. So for me, I was dealing with a lot of anemia and like just low iron and heart palpitations, needed to nap in the middle of the day, anxiety and all kinds of things. So when I started taking Ningxia Red every day, I started taking an ounce, and 3 weeks into that, I was like, what the heck just happened to my life? I feel so much better. I don't need to nap anymore. Like my brain clarity was so much better. And so then I was able to recommend it to a whole bunch of other people who just came back with like so many testimonies. And I was, oh, this is amazing. So no wonder this makes up 40% of Young Living sales. This is on my order every single month, and it blows my mind how powerful it is. And I don't know if you guys know, but Young Living, Gary Young went to blue zones in the world. And so a blue zone is where people live like their longest, healthiest lives up like into their hundreds, and they're still contributing. They're not dying of like weird sicknesses and immune diseases and stuff like that, like in North America. So so that's why this was created. It's because he found that blue zone in Ningxia, China, and we're utilizing the whole wolfberry. And so you get all that fiber, and I could just go on and on for days, but I'm sure Megan has a testimony to share too.
Yes, I just am like,
Right.
totally love Ningxia. And I was a total skeptic. Like I thought it was like the Young Living Kool-Aid. I'm like, okay, you guys go have your Ningxia. It's just juice with essential oils in it. And I decided, my friend convinced me to do a 30-day challenge. She's like, just try it and like see what happens. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll try it, kind of to prove everybody wrong. And at the time, my youngest son was 4 months old. And we were struggling with thrush, which is like a yeast infection that you pass back and forth between you and your baby. And we like could not get rid of it, like tried all of the things, and it was painful and it was super frustrating. And of course, when you have any sort of yeast infection, you crave sugar because sugar feeds the yeast. And so I was like a treat monster, like legit treat monster, like any treats, I got them in. And so I started to drink Ningxia every day. And what I noticed was it totally leveled out my blood sugar. So I wasn't craving the sugar anymore. And our thrush totally went away. Like I was not expecting, I wasn't even thinking that they'd connect at all. But yeah, so it was like the only thing that got rid of it, which was like so amazing. I was so grateful. And as a mom of a 4-month-old and a toddler, it gave me way more energy. So similar to Lisa, like I wasn't feeling like I had to nap. And of course, you're not sleeping very much with a 4-month-old, but I was just feeling more energetic and more energized. And I also really noticed that it really boosts our immune system. So like anytime that we're feeling worn down or extra tired or just like a tickle, like something's coming, I always up our Ningxia. And it always just like, it feels like this whole body nutrient that just like boosts everything up. I find it's amazing for emotions. Like, I don't know about you guys, but this last year, like all of the emotions. And so it's just been like so helpful to create that consistency. I give it to my boys, like our whole family drinks it. They call it ninja juice. And so they have it every morning, and then they do like ninja moves after every single time. It like it doesn't get old, I guess. I don't know. But I love it. And the essential oils in it actually make it more bioavailable, which means that your body actually absorbs the nutrients at such a higher rate than a typical supplement would. And that's what I also love about Essential Zyme 4. So this is a digestive enzyme, and it has essential oils in it as well. And so I've tried other digestive enzymes, and this one like really impacts me in such a like hugely beneficial way. And I think it is those essential oils in it that are also supporting from a different way. And so if you've never heard of a digestive enzyme, that was like me too. I had no idea, but we're born with digestive enzymes in our body that our bodies make. And it's just like everything else, as we age, that begins to decrease. And so we start to need to supplement it. And digestive enzymes just help to break down the food that are in our bodies so that our body can absorb the nutrients or discard it. And so we actually did a experiment with like a bowl of oatmeal, and I opened up, there's 2 capsules in it. So a slow release and an immediate release capsule. And we just emptied them into the oatmeal, and within like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, it had totally liquefied the bowl of oatmeal. And that's what it's doing in your body. And it's so amazing. So my husband has Crohn's disease. He takes these every single day to support that, so that, because Crohn's disease is a lot of inflammation in your gut. So it just really helps to be able to break that all down so your body can just absorb it just more easefully. So I take these daily as well, but I also really make sure I have them if we travel anywhere or anything like that happens, because I always want to have them on hand. They're so great too, like if you've had too much to eat or too much to drink or anything, like, or you had something that your body doesn't agree with. If you shouldn't have gluten and you had a piece of bread, things like that, these are so supportive to your gut. They just help really like break everything down. And they're infused with essential oils as well. So they are also amazing. Yeah. So we kind of covered like a little bit of everything, right? Like a little bit for your digestion, a little bit for whole body health, for inflammation, sulfurzyme, inflammation, so good. For like our whole home with all of our products that we have in our homes. And then of course the essential oils to support the symptoms that still come up, like allergies and things like that. But I will say, as I've been tackling my gut health, my allergy symptoms have gone way down, which is super cool too.
It's true. I was gonna say too, like I used to have allergies for probably about 10 years, and then I started Young Living and ditching the toxins, and now I don't get seasonal allergies anymore. Like I had all my rollers ready to go that next season in my purse in the car. I was like, it's coming, the flowers are out, but it didn't come back, and I was like, interesting. So who knows? I think it's just like a little mix of everything, doing all the things and helping your body get back to its like healing process and supporting it in that way. But with that being said, Young Living has an amazing loyalty program called Essential Rewards. It's called Essential Rewards right now. And so what they do is the more you switch out the toxins and you bring in all those awesome supplements and all that stuff to support your health, you're going to get 10% back on your orders that you're ordering for yourself from your own store, and it comes right to your door. And then after 3 months, you will get 20% back. And then after 2 years, they give you 25% back. Like literally no other store does that or rewards you with all of that awesomeness. Plus, the more you switch out, the more free products you'll get, because Young Living is so generous. So I just love not having to go to like 3 different grocery stores to get this, this, and this, and reading all the labels. And I can trust this company, and ordering online is the best way to go right now because it's like super easy, stress-free. Don't have to, wait in line or do any of that stuff. So I love Young Living for that. Everyone here is probably on Essential Rewards already.
Mm-hmm. It's the only way to order. Like you'd be crazy not to.
I know.
All the freebies, all the money back. I usually get like a ton of my supplements with my points. Each point is equivalent to a US dollar. Like it's just cheaper shipping, all of the things. It's amazing.
So yeah, crazy not to. And the other part is if you are interested in getting your orders for free, or maybe you want to have a little wiggle room in your budget or replace like a full-time income, all of that is possible with Young Living. And so for me, I just wanted my products paid for at first. And I just thought I'd help a few people and help them have the same feelings I was having about Young Living. And then I just like kept going. And so then we replaced like my part-time income. And then eventually my husband was able to retire. So my dreams got a little bit bigger as I went along because I had no idea what was possible. And honestly, this company, when you have products like this that actually change lives, it's really easy to tell people. So like Megan said last time, like it's like Young Living it's just another product that you can choose to have or not. It's totally up to you. And I just like wholeheartedly hope that you do, because if someone hadn't shared with me, I'd be so sad. My life would not be where it is. So
I totally agree. I know. And it's so funny because when I got the product, similar to Lisa, like I wasn't planning on building a business, but it made such a difference in my life that my friends were like, hey, like, why are your kids not getting sick? Or like, what's going on? You're like all healthy and glowy and like, what's going on over there? And so I told them about it. And I was like, man, if I can get free products, like that would be sweet. Then I can get these every month and not have to worry about it at all. And then soon after that, my son was in childcare 2 days a week so that I could work. I was a counselor with the health authority. And so I was like, if I could get the childcare covered, like that would be really awesome. And so a month later, I got that covered. And then I was like, ooh, like if I could replace my part-time income, that would be like epic and would never happen. But then when my mom passed away, I had this moment or moments, I'm sure, of just like, man, like I want to live life big. Like we never know how long we have here. My mom never got to retire. She died when she was 57. And I don't want to wait. Like I don't want to wait till my kids are older. I don't want to wait until I retire. I want to do all of the things now. And so I knew that I had Young Living, and it was the quickest vehicle to get to where I wanted to go to the fastest. And I wanted to be able to say yes to all of the things that I want to say yes to, and no to the things that no longer serve me or that I don't want to spend my time doing. And so it has been such a gift for our family. We were able to replace my husband's income, and he was able to quit his job that he was really good at, but didn't have a passion in. And he was able to follow his dreams and do what fuels him and is his passion. And so I can't imagine, like, the products are incredible and they have certainly changed our world. Like, they are life-giving, amazing products. But this business has absolutely shifted my entire world. And so it's not for everybody. And we know that most people won't do it, but it is absolutely incredible. If you're all curious, even just sharing with the people who are inevitably curious about it and wanting to know what you're doing to make your life better. So we're so grateful that you spent this time with us and connected in. Any last minute thoughts, Lisa? Or
I don't think so. Just grateful to be here and all of you watching.
yes. I know it's super fun to kind of hit on all of these different areas that we talked about with the essential oils, the ditch and switch, like the Thieves products and all of the things in our homes, and then those foundational nutrition, like nutrients and for your nutrition, and then the business. And so we just hope that that was helpful, kind of a sense of all of the different lifestyle things that you can do. So whether you're looking for like digestive health or stress health, or there's lots of different ways to get started, and we get to customize it fully towards what you're needing. And so just connect with the person who invited you to this, and they'll be able to help customize it, or you can connect with Lisa and I as well. So we hope that you have an amazing, wonderful, wonderful day, and we will talk to you guys soon.